All right. Um, so I want to continuously make some videos. I make videos to put things in perspective. In this program, they'll do everything to change you into something, a storyline, a new narrative. I've talked a lot about the pedophilia type of torment. Matter of fact, I just woke up, and as I predicted, I have reality checks. It's like you're gonna put children in my head in certain ways, stimulate me, do certain things to try to make me accept these disturbing things. Right? This is what they do. They utilize pedophilia type of tormenting, and they've been doing this for a while. Right? And the funny thing is like they keep saying how they beat because they're gonna always over like they're gonna take over my brain. They will gonna I will like rationality is so removed in my mind that they always think that they make sense, but it's not true. It's just being rational and non and almost childlike thinking. So I'm saying that they're doing something. And they always tell me that I'm going to get beaten, torture. Now, I'm talking to people who I've mentioned many times do the pedophilia type of tormenting. They are illogical because in reality they want you to accept the obvious pedophilia type of tormenting as if it's organically you, right? But they work day in and day out to force you to accept these things. Uh, to me, the way I look at them, I see them as just this bottom feeders for the government, right? They're doing all these horrible things to people, but from the comfort of their home, neighbors or people like, or at least become neighbors, and do all these things to you, to your body, and using this star power weaponry. And so they find ways to try to make you believe this dehumanizing, try to make you, try to dehumanize you, and while creating a fantasy they've created, a fairy tale of theirs. These people are nasty in a sense that they torture children, they do horrible things to women, and most importantly, they do pedophilia type of tormenting. These people try to play feminists, play activists, play good doers, not even good doers, good people in a community, while being a program that's responsible for some of the nastiest things. Now with me, they've tried to really accept this nonsensicalness. As I'm saying that, they say they won. And what does it mean? It means that this personality they've created apparently is so sensical that they've won. They like to tell themselves that they won in a sense, when in reality it's just my brain has been so rewired in these nonsensical ways that these people want to keep telling themselves they won. I mean, one, there is no way to actually like the results are going to be the same because you are a civilian who is going to be tortured by these people who work for the government. Very pedophilia centric. They have limited resources. But when it comes to winning in regard of, do you think that you sound like a logical or illogical individual when you go around and say your stories? There's been plenty of testimonies, such as, I can bring one up. Such as this.
Somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of pedophilia. Like this disgusting thing.
Such as this.
In no-touch torture, the techniques are more psychologically specialized for each target. Most common examples include homosexual targets that are forced with voices that are derogatory to their lifestyle and similar mental images. Almost all targets are forced to view child pornography in their minds.
Such as this. You've heard this before.
I also experience what is sensation, so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, diaper or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including the threat of planned.
So, you know that there's a lot of things like that that they've done. They specialize in this pedophilia type of torture. So today now I'm experiencing disgusting pedophilia type of tormenting, which I've talked about it a lot in different versions. Sometimes talk about it as if they talk about it as if they just matched it to you when you were a child. I'm talking about child, and I have a picture of myself around the time, around this young. You understand? And they say we matched it to you around that age, right? Let me remind who's talking to me.
Eating healthier doesn't need a total pantry.
I said that there was kids and they did some nasty things, but
Ali, we're told, and when I was put through recruitment into the intel community, you're put through polygraphs, you're put through a rigorous selection process. Why aren't these people weeded out? Why are so many pedophiles allowed to be given top-level security clearance? Remember, these aren't just people walking in off the street and saying, hey, can I get hired, can I get a job? You're put through an extremely rigorous background check, screening process. It's called an SSBI, single scope background investigation. There are people, they interview you, they interview your family, they interview your contacts, they go through your online footprint, they go through everything. So why is it that when they're going through these footprints, they're not checking, these digital footprints, they're not checking for so many pedophiles getting through their ranks? If it were up to me, you need to go into Congress, and Congress needs to launch a brand new church committee, number one, to talk about domestic surveillance operations, but number two, to ask the question, why are there so many pedophiles sitting behind those computer screens within the walls of Langley, within the Pentagon, and throughout the broader intelligence community?
so there was an ad before this, and it looked like there was two kids. They started stimulating me. It's disturbing. It's disgusting. But that's what they do. And so these are the people who are telling you that, oh no, we're just analyzing you. We are not manipulating you. So obviously, you know that these people are, of course, they are very, in the tactic of gaslighting, they are just really want you to be as illogical as they want to be, right? And they keep telling me who's waiting for me. They're gonna frame me, so they're gonna be waiting for. So that's how they want you to identify with these things. They're gonna frame you after they do this thing. For example, there's a moment, as I'm saying, that they try to do something. There's a moment there where it looks like there was a child there. There's two like teenage kids or some sort, and they start doing some stimulation. Right? That's why it looks like. I don't have to zoom, but it looks like that. But they stimulate me, as I'm saying that. Matter of fact, as I'm putting my hand there, they continue to do these disturbing things. That they've conditioned you to have this weird, disgusting reaction that you know it's not you. And they want you to be like that. That's you. You experience that, and this is natural. You know that's not true, but they have no level of self-respect that's as obviously falsified as this is. They're gonna try to subscribe to you, and they're nasty. Now, that's not where it ends with their narrations and storytelling. There's a point where they try to bring up things that also meant to try to embarrass you. Me, it doesn't embarrass me because I take things in the right perspective of things. They try to make me think when I was like 10 years old, right? And I remember we had dogs in our place, and I remember one of the dog. When they have this like heat, they get in heat or something like that. And I remember this dog's mating, right? And me, at 10-year-old me, I remember reacting and feeling a little bit of a stimulation. I'm 10 years old. What do you expect a 10-year-old to go see? how what a 10-year-old is gonna react when he sees that, right? And then they will try to bring up uh, me when I was, when I was 15, 16 years old, and I remember I was in a place where we just have all had laptops, and so you can only imagine what a 15, 16-year-old with a laptop, when hit puberty, or like, on right at the top of puberty, first time having a computer with a bunch of other kids between 15 and 16, what you think they're gonna go, and they're gonna see, watch things on the webs, on the internet that's, let's just say, uh, interesting. And of course they wish, they try to make me think, oh, was it child porn? They wish it was that. It's not true, it's not that, but it was women with, and we would just go through everything that was there, as a 15-year-old with a laptop. And this is not today when everybody has like a phone, a smartphone with internet. This is back in the days where, early 2000, when not everybody had a cell phone, and like not even everybody had a laptop, and maybe everybody had like a computer at home, but not a laptop. So we, as 15, 16-year-old, we obviously will go and watch, explicit things, and and do what 15 and 16-year-old would do, right? And they try to get you to accept this thing as like, oh, you should feel me, I'm like, you just want to embarrass me. They just want me to be embarrassed about it. Of course not. I'm not gonna be embarrassed. And the funny thing is that I know these people. Some of them are men, right? You know that when they were teenage kids, around that age, they would do the same thing, or they've even probably done the same thing. But you just gotta be strong. You gotta understand that, they're just trying to embarrass you, and they somehow try to translate to their pedophilia type of torment via these things. It's just nonsensical. And then they try to make me think of a moment. I remember when I was in high school, some people was, a classmate of mine was telling me about something about her sister, and I did think about it, and try to like make me embarrassed. Like, this is stupidity. And now they try to, okay, see that, and nonsensicalness. But to them, that is rationality. It makes sense. I should be nervous about it. I should be scared. Let me give you an idea of what a 10-year-old look like, first of all, for that initial thing. This is a 10-year-old. It's right here on that's 10-year-old. So when they make me think of that moment when my dog and the dog were mating, and me, I got a little, starts being stimulated. It's that young, of course. And to them, it's like, it's proof. And then they talk about when we were in high school. Were we watching these things to a 15-year-old? Of course we all, like, that's because as 15, 16-year-old, you watch this thing, and and the maturity and being at that stage of your life, things like that is like, oh my gosh, what's next? And watch, let's just say they were not my go-to, but if they was there, well, what was they? What was it? That's what typical teenagers would do in the circumstances I was, and I was not alone. Of course, there was, I was in an environment where there's other kids my age, and boys, and so we would do the same thing. Now, in their mind, they want you to be like, you see, approve, you see the ways, and then it's like stupidity beyond stupidity. Having tried to create and paint this nonsensicalness to the point where they try to intimidate you with noise campaign of intimidating ways, as if that. Do you understand? Does it make sense? And I don't want to be too graphic in this video, explicit in regard how things are put. It's just stupidity. And then they try to talk about these pedophilia things they do to me, and try to say, oh, but remember as a kid you did this. Oh, I don't know. Also now today as a 30-some-year-old, this is what. And try to get you to accept in this nonsensical ways, to try to create this way of thinking in this childlike matter. Did you see, like, this is they truly are forcing you to think this way, and like they're gonna beat you, because my brain is so out of touch with rationale, it's so controlled by them, that they are connecting this nonsensicalness to make sense in my brain. And they're like, no, we proved it. No, you just made yourself retarded. I understand. And the thing is, they're making the noise campaign as if that's like, no, that we proved it, and that you see they're gonna beat you because they proved it. No, it's just as illogical as it gets. It's as on the spectrum as it gets. And they're like, no, we proved it because they're gonna torture you. We proved that this black girl or this pedophilia type of torture or the stimulation things is just organically. They are. It's you when you were a kid. We saw the patterns in this nonsensicalness and connected to now. So now as a 30-some-year-old, you're feeling what you. It's just nonsensical. And they do noise campaign and they try to really make you think that makes sense. So they proved that they don't do none of this.
No-touch torture, the techniques are more psychologically specialized for each target. Most common examples include homosexual targets that are forced with voices that are derogatory to their lifestyle and similar mental images. Almost all targets are forced to view child pornography in their minds.
That's that this woman is talking about.
Of survival. I also experience what is referred to as malodorance. This is the alteration of the smell sensation so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, dirty diaper, or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including the threat of planted dreams, and me to smell various things.
Or
You saw where I was going with that first word. Count so much. I make it so dramatic. It is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of pedophilia. It's disgusting, disgusting.
that they're not doing this, but they're matching it to this. Do you understand how illogic these people are? You gotta be strong, because these people are gonna make it seem like it makes a lot of sense. They're truly nonsensical, and they use like the torture and the warnings of torture and all the things they're gonna do to me, as if that's validation. You know, there's one thing they said, you're gonna do this and then you're gonna die. You're gonna do this and you die. You know, I know when I sleep, they do horrible things to my body, and I wake up feeling weird, and things are being done to me remotely. And you know, I know that. You know, these people keep saying, we're gonna torture you and then we're gonna let you die. One thing for sure, I am just thankful that I didn't have to do what they do. Listen, I'm not perfect, but I know the real me, and as much as they try to paint me in something else, I know the real me. Their job is to erase the real me, which is not perfect, but it's the real me. And implant this new narration and storyline they've created and put together. And they're gonna do everything possible to make you accept. They tell me how I'm gonna be crushed, as if that means that. And it means that being crushed by them is proof. I thought my thing was off. I'm so glad it wasn't. And and you you're gonna be tortured by these people who gonna beat you up, to gonna rape you. They, it's funny, as they always try to make me imagine, and they use the different ways. It's just ways to get you anxiety. Not, I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. I'm saying, but the reason why they're saying it is just to get this anxiety. Oh, this is gonna do this to you. I don't want to be graphic in what they say specifically. Oh, you better get ready. This is gonna happen. And then I'm like, okay, I know why you're saying that, because these tactics are also done onto women. They're nasty. Now, me, I don't obviously don't want that to happen, but I can only imagine if I was a woman and hearing these things. They're nasty. They're fraud, foul people, and trash. As I'm saying that, somebody's saying some idiotic ways, idiotic thing, in a stupidity way. You know, you hear this grown woman try to sound menacing, as if they caught like a pedophile, but because what they're saying is like, oh, you like kids. Now, what she's saying is they flip something I've said before, and actually it's funny. I was on a date, and that date said said something about, she likes kids. She wants to have kids, right? Of course, that's the sense I was trying to say. You know what they try to say it in this intelligence community issue ways. These people are not logical people, and when she talks, she really wants to, like, she wants to be. She's angry, she's acting accordingly. The dramatics to get you to accept these things is nonsensical. So to all my target individuals, stay strong, and know that justice will be done, and know that this nonsensicalness, this persona they've created, is just shows so. It shows how illogical and nasty these people are. These cowards at the trash of these pedophiles. They use them to turn people into something else. And the technology that these people use is such a sophisticated weapon that they're willing to dumb themselves down to enjoy this godlike ability that this technology has to change and manipulate somebody like that, to make them be this weird person, not even weird, this other being, not only physically but mentally too. So I will never let them live the fantasy. Stay strong, and regardless of what warnings to me they tell me that I'm gonna be framed and whatever, just stay strong. They're gonna try to say whatever they need to break you down. So be strong, my target individual, and understand this is non-stop. But you could have lived the life that they live in, try to make somebody accept these things this way, and humiliating it as it is, and dumbing yourself down as as that level. Thank you.